I've lost count. It's around 16 or 17 so far.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to the show. Today is May 19th or 18th, and we are just closing up a 4-day stretch over on Mille Lacs Lake. You know, it was a really good time. I didn't fish out there opener, but I definitely fished out there the day after, and it was phenomenal. So talk a little bit about what we did, but before I do that, I want to briefly just talk about what this channel is going to be all about. You know, we're going to have the weekly reports. I'm going to have them. Obviously, I'll be posting daily on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll post it on Minnesota Bass Heads too as well. Just the reports of what's going on around Mille Lacs Lake, and then I do guide around the Central Lakes area too, which is considered Brainerd. So Brainerd is located just a little bit north of Mille Lacs Lake, north to those Twin Cities, guys, and just an awesome all-around area. Beautiful tourist area, plenty of places to eat, plenty of places to stay. For sure, awesome lakes to go to, and I am on the water a lot that I can for sure give you guys reports for around these areas too as well. I've been getting a lot of messages over the past couple of years about equipment, boats, places to go, how to fish the lake, all kinds of different questions, and I figured it'd just be easier to start uploading content. And what that content's going to be based around is a lot of instructional stuff, detailed reports, and I'm going to bring you guys with on the journey. I'm going to be fishing a small tournament series with a friend of mine, and we've been doing it for the past few years. We're for sure going to put that on film this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to get a look at what it is like to be a guide up in the Central Lakes area. So it should be a lot of fun to be able to put together. So as far as the reports go, you know, this last week was awesome. Like I said earlier, you know, caught a lot of big fish. Key was to target pre-spawn bass. You know, I know that there's guys that are up in the shallows right now catching them. And for me personally, I could not get those fish to cooperate for me. Kind of a weird situation, but the day one that I was there, it was like the first area that I pulled up in. We weren't even there for an hour and I caught 2 fish right away. That kind of told me that they were shallow and that's where I needed to be focusing my attention on. Of course, that was a big mistake as far as where I could find them at, and I wound up not catching anything shallow that day. I did be outside of the fish that I caught right away initially, but I did like maybe see a couple here and there, but I definitely didn't capitalize on the shallow water bite. So we switched gears and we decided to go chase pre-spawners. You know, we found them on the edges of rock veins, and I can show you on my Humminbird 360, or on my Humminbird Mega 360, I can show you kind of what the areas that I was targeting look like. You know, deeper rock veins and deeper by like that 10 to 15 foot range, deeper rock veins, targeting the drizzled rock or boulder that's off of those rock veins. And they kind of look like this, you know, just on the edge. You know, you can see where the rock builds up and then there's boulders that drip off the bottom of it. That's kind of where I was finding them. And again, you know, not all rock veins are created equally. Not all of them house fish. There's so many of them out there. And for me, it's just finding the right ones and kind of developing that pattern through a lot of trial and error, just driving around, marking them, scanning for those areas, and then after that, getting on that trolling motor and start making casts and see if I can catch them. You know, that's something that's learned over time. Outside of that, the next day, the wind kind of changed. I was forced to fish a different part of the lake where the wind had been blowing into. In that area of the lake, the fish were definitely shallow. You know, I was seeing a lot of males up top. I fished the top of some of the flats that I was on and caught the first flat that I went to, I caught like 17 fish. They were all males and they were all between 2 and 3.5 pounds, excluding one 4-pounder that I caught. So again, switched programs, decided to go a little bit deeper, and I started finding bigger fish. I didn't catch a bunch of them that day, but I definitely got 3 that were well over 5 pounds. Fast forward to the next day, you know, it had laid down completely flat and you could access any point in the lake that you want. So I went to some of my favorite spots and got to fish. Didn't get big numbers, but I caught the right fish and definitely busted that 23, 24 pound mark. I had a few fish that went over well over 5 pounds and several that were over that 4.5 mark. The next day, the wind gusted and she bucked pretty hard. That meant that I had to target areas that I really wasn't used to. I had minute success as far as getting the numbers that I wanted, but catching the right fish, I had all the success in the world. I only caught 4 fish yesterday, and actually no, I caught 10, but 4 of them were worth the trip out there, and we're talking over 4 pounds. So, you know, my theory on chasing this spring bite around, I try and stay on that pre and post spawn program for as long as I can. I really don't like to target fish on beds. You know, here and there maybe if I can find some deeper ones, but for the most part, I like targeting those pre and post spawners. They're much bigger usually. They're more easier to get to bite. And just a tip for you, man, when you're targeting those beds shallow, just remember 100 other boats, especially if you're there in the afternoon, 100 other boats got on top of those beds too. Those fish are freakishly hard to catch. I mean, they get very, very dialed into the program. They know what a boat looks like. They know when people are pitching baits in there, they'll kind of just circle your bait, circle the rock, kind of take big laps around the rock as you get closer and closer. That's a pressured fish. He's been fooled once. He's probably been fooled 3, 4, 5 times, but he is not going to get fooled again. Some of those fish become extremely temperamental, and that's when it gets much easier just to chase that pre and post spawn bite. Moving along, as far as the season goes, you know, I want to put together the series, and the series that I came up with is called The Guide Life, where it basically highlights my season. You know, I'm going to bring you guys with on the journey of not only going fun fishing, you know, I got some ideas of traveling some different places of the state and going and fishing some areas that I've never been in, chasing big ones. You know, my heart is with the brown bass, but I would never leave those green bass alone. I love pulling out the flipping stick and just cracking them hard. So that's going to be something that I do on the side, as well as bring you guys with on a team series that I fish called the Northwest Team Trail up in the central Minnesota area. I'm going to bring you guys with on the adventure for that. You know, me and my tournament partner Aaron Niemeyer fish that. We've been doing it for a few years now. It's a smaller series. It's not the Bassmaster Opens. It's a smaller series, and it's just fun. It's a fun deal. It's very competitive, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun, and I have a great time doing it. Me and Aaron have some of the best times in the boat. So, really looking forward to bringing you guys with on that journey as well. Again, man, I appreciate you guys clicking on this video and giving me the time of day. I'm gonna, again, upload reports a lot. So be following this channel if you wanna know the latest on what's going on in Mille Lacs as far as that smallmouth action goes. And for sure, tune in to The Guide Life, man, because it's gonna be a really fun time. We're gonna get you guys in on some of the times that I have, good and bad times. Both good and bad times I'm going to give you guys so that you guys can see it all. Like just the other week, I got a flat tire. That's probably going to be in there. You know, oh, and I did, you know, learning this whole filming thing has been just a weird deal because the best trip that I had out on Mille Lacs, I thought the camera was rolling. It wasn't. I thought the mics were turned on. It wasn't. Didn't have sound for 3/4 of it. Some of it did. It was just kind of like that struggle bus of just getting acclimated to the equipment and stuff like that. So I wish I had more for you. I had a lot planned for you for this week, and it just didn't, kind of fell through with equipment malfunction. And I don't even know if it was equipment malfunction. I would say that it's more Sam malfunctioning. So, but I am so looking forward to this season. So we're going to keep it coming. We're going to keep content rolling to you guys. I hope that you guys check it out. Check out my Facebook page, Samurai Fishing, Instagram, Samurai Fishing, for the reports and big fish picks, man. I love big fish picks. We'll see you guys very soon. Have a good weekend. And remember, lifting and fishing, get after it. I've never seen a duck with a red head like that. It's a woodpecker duck. Yeah. All right. A couple. work, you get your ass out of bed in the morning, bud.
Ask.
Yeah. The fish are biting. They're waiting for us. Alright, I kind of have an idea where we're going to go. We're going to start off shallow and work our way outwards. Onward bound!
I've lost count. It's around 16 or 17 so far.